Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how you can get better decision making in this game, because there's a lot of people who have really good gun skill, or they know like the best weapons to use, the best settings, and they have all of that. But when it comes to fighting people or highly skilled players, they just can't get any kills. They keep falling into positions where they have multiple people shooting at them once. Maybe they're out in the open and they're like, how did I get out in the open when somebody has like a really good position up top and I just get destroyed? I keep making the same bad decisions over and over and over. All right, and I used to be a player who was just like that, right? I was amazing at just aiming and shooting and drop shotting and all that stuff, but over and over I just kept dying because of the same stupid decisions that I would just make in the game, right? And there's actually a simple way, or there are simple ways to actually increase I guess your intelligence, or just the way that you play the game, make decisions, and become a lot better player in this game. All right, before I continue, I will say that I don't usually make these types of videos. I usually make videos based on like how to get the best aim, the best settings, and everything like that, and this is a little bit different than what my channel really does. Yes, it's a tutorial channel, but I get the most views from talking about the same stuff over and over. So if you guys really do enjoy this video and it was really helpful, then like the video, watch it all the way through, and that would help push it to the algorithm a lot more to get more views, and I can keep making content a little bit different than what I'm used to, like this, to help you guys out. All right, and if this video sucks, let me know as well. But the first major thing I want to point on, because this was my main problem when I was really not the best at this game, right, is I always thought, okay, well, if I'm doing the same thing and over and dying, then maybe I should do the opposite of what I'm used to, right? If I'm always challenging gunfights, let's just say I pop up, shoot somebody right there, but then sometimes when I pop up he gets the kill first, maybe I should just start playing more safe, or just get on the ground more and not jump as much. And that is not always the case. There's some times where you make a good decision, right, on, let's just say, being aggressive and things like that, and you still die, and you're conditioned to not do that anymore because you died doing it. But there could have been like another thing that was making you mess up or not get the kill. It's not that you were too aggressive, maybe you just didn't push the guy a certain way, and you should still be aggressive instead of just playing safe. So sometimes the things that you think are wrong are actually not entirely wrong, or you're thinking about it in a different way, and that would get you stuck in this loophole of you still being a bad player and having bad habits, and you don't think that you're at fault for it, right? And the main way for me to fix this is to constantly watch players that are better than me, right? So if I'm constantly watching the things that really good players are doing and I copy what those players are doing, I can't be bad at the game. If these players are making certain decisions, they're slide canceling, they're drop shotting, they're playing certain spots aggressively and then other spots not as aggressively, things like that. If you're watching gameplay over and over, catch on to it, and then record your own gameplay and then see where yours doesn't line up with a good player, then you can kind of see for yourself and point out what's wrong with your gameplay. Now, I can't say every single exact scenario in this game. I can't go over that because there's way too many different situations and scenarios that can actually help you or hurt you or anything like that. But the best way to get better is every single time you die and you're so confused onto why you die, compare that to a gameplay of somebody who is better than you and see what you did wrong there. Because there's so many situations, there's so many things like windows, stairs, certain positions out in the open that may be good or bad that you could talk about and try to look over, but it would take you a while to actually get used to doing all those things right. Also, I know in this community there are a lot of cheating allegations, or a lot of people are known to be or like are suspicious of like cheating in this game. So how could you get better from watching like a cheater play the game if you're just an average person? And if somebody is cheating and you're following them, you're not going to get as good as them because they're not actual good players, right? Or they're decent players but they're not like pro players, right? And I would highly suggest watching professional Call of Duty players, the CDL players, because they are 99.9% not cheating. There are like super small cases where they can actually be cheating, because it has like happened before. I don't know if it was like other games or maybe COD in the past that people do cheat that, but for the most part they play Call of Duty professionally every single day. That's their job. So if you're constantly watching what they're doing and compare their gameplay aligned with your own gameplay and kind of like look at what you're doing right and wrong, that is going to help you make a lot better decisions in this game, because you can see exactly what they're doing, how they're thinking, and you can analyze that for yourself. Another thing I want to say about getting better decision making in this game is what I call the 3 stages of a gunfight, right? So I break each encounter into 3 different sections. First is the part where I look for the enemy, right? So maybe I'm just like looking around, seeing where people are at, not having like a heavy weapon out or anything. Like even if people are far away, I still have an SMG or a pistol, a knife out, because I want to get movement and see where my next enemy is. And this is where you prepare to fight somebody, right? If I'm aiming at somebody and shooting, this is not the preparation stage. This is a stage where I'm actually shooting the person. All right, so you want to kind of break that fight off into a few different sections. So you're preparing for the fight while looking for a person. Let's just say you find an enemy and you're about to engage. Then that's the engagement phase, right? The second stage of a gunfight, to where you're actually fighting the enemy. And then the third stage is when you're trying to like relocate or maybe heal and stuff like that. You want to make sure that you're splitting your gameplay or how you analyze your decision making into those 3 parts. And the reason I say that is because let's just say I kill somebody, I have super low health, and I need to run away, but then I run into a bad direction and then I die from that, right? Like somebody just kills me because I'm very low in health. Well, then you got to realize, okay, you probably did the preparation stage, the engagement stage. You did both of those things right in those areas. It's just that after you got the kill, you ran into a bad spot right there where there is more likely to be enemies, and then you died from that. All right, breaking that off into a separate section shows that you did the first part and the second part right, but you just messed up on the third part. And now how can you fix that third part so that it won't happen again? Because if you start trying to correct your mistakes from the previous time, right, when you did everything right, then you're going to start thinking differently about your gameplay, which was actually good. So I want to say that too, because you gotta, over time, you gotta make sure that you're developing the same good habits over and over, and you're not going and correcting things that don't need to be corrected in that way. Final thing I want to talk about is just overall map awareness, because this is where a big factor decision making, comes into place. Right here, you can see that it's about to be 4th circle, right? So that means a lot of people are going to be closer together in the small circle, and at the same time, I'm running for the gas. Or running from the gas, and I can see on my mini map, okay, there's a guy shooting down here, so I got to be careful from him, and most likely there's going to be a lot of people in these buildings, so I also got to be careful for that. All right, if it was in the beginning of the game, I don't have to be as careful, because my 31 kills that I'm on right now is not at risk. I'd probably have like 4 or 5 kills, not as risky if I just throw myself across the map. And another thing is there's probably not going to be people there because the map has no gas and everybody's all spread out. All right, so using your mini map and knowing which part of the game you're in is really going to help you make better decisions. So the thing I do right here, I know there's a guy under me, someone shooting over there. I try to make sure I eliminate him first, or at least make sure he doesn't shoot back, and then I can move on. Because, in this situation, somebody can be right there beaming at me, and then he can shoot at me, and then the guy over here maybe comes up and shoots at me. So I go to the water to avoid all the gunfights over there, and then I know that somebody's over there, so I can just push that guy immediately over here. And then there's also buildings that I can run to in case I accidentally fight anybody right there, right? So I could just do all that stuff right here. So mini map awareness is extremely crucial. Some people ask me, how do you read the mini map? Usually I do stare at it. Like I take my eyes off the screen, stare at it. Unless it's like really obvious, like I see red dots in my peripheral, then I can just look at that and know where a general enemy is. But if you need to hide in a building or just hide behind cover and take time to just look at your mini map to really gain awareness of your area, do that, because it is a tool and it's in the game for a reason to help you get a lot better. All right, so that's another thing I wanted to say as well. But overall, I wanted to make this video straight to the point and show like general stuff, a general direction to where you guys can look for to get better decision making in this game. Because it's not just, oh, you need to be born with the highest IQ in the game, or maybe you're getting old and that your brain's not as functional as if you were younger, so you're not going to make good decisions. No, that's not true at all. You just need to be experienced with the game. You need to know like the main strats and routes that people take. You need to know, okay, the circle is smaller, so there's more likely to be people here, little things like that. And as you watch like really good players play this game and see how they kind of navigate the map and kind of follow the flow and the pacing that all of them are doing, you're going to see yourself getting a lot more kills, making a lot better decisions in this game. And analyzing your own gameplay over and over is really going to point out what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, so that you can make the right corrections that you need to make yourself a lot better player.